We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Isekai, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie here, back to you with another new part of What If Izuku Could Become a Vanguard. This is part 3, and again, still like to thank you all for your support for this channel and for this series as well. It really does mean everything to me. My MHA content is still going on strong, but I probably won't be doing too much of it in the future. Just to let you guys know. Same thing goes for Black Clover as well. So with all that out of the way, let's go with that as a quick recap. And the last part, Izuku is getting ready for that of the entrance exam for UA. However, they soon show that of a, replay reel of his match against that of Hamura, his teacher and mentor, in that of Vanguard, who he fought against to become a Generation Master. As the card fight was tough, but Izuku was able to become a Generation Master alongside all those and part of his club. With being a Generation Master under his belt and him planning on trying to get into UA, he has nothing else to worry about. As his time going through the exam was a little bit stressful and irritating, first with Bakugo, then with a tall dude being Ida, and then there was him almost falling on his face. But with even all of that basically getting in his way, he was still able to show what he's capable of with that of his quirk and his royal paladins. Even able to save that of a girl who ended up saving him, being Pony Tsunatori, who is also that pen pal friend from the United States that Izuku's been talking to. He's just been unaware of her just yet. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Weeks have now passed since that of the UA entrance exam, as it's now coming up to that of March, as it being the last month before Izuku and that of his clubmates all graduate from Aldera. Currently in that of the Aldera card fighting club, you see that of Katakata basically giving that of Eurisha that of some tips on improving that of her deck, and also giving her some extra tips using his phone to show that of certain clans that'd be better for her, which she takes a stride. As for that of Nene, she is still basically looking over her phone on the couch in the club room as she's waiting for Izuku. But then soon, Izuku basically comes through the door as Nana can up say, Izuku, you're... Before she could say anything, he basically now has that of a, black eye, within saying, "Who the hell did that to you, Izuku?" Within soon, Katakata saying, before she goes insane, "The hell happened to you, dude? Last time I heard, weren't you supposed... Didn't your homeroom teacher wanted to speak to you?" Saying, "Yeah, he did." As for this, as Izuku basically runs down on what just happened when he met with his homeroom teacher, as they got that of the, announcements that both Izuku and Bakugo were able to make it into UA, as they knew Bakugo would, as they've been trying their best to make sure that he gets into UA after all. However, the same thing also goes for Izuku. However, they were more expecting him to go into that of the Vanguard course of UA after all. But even so, with a quirk like his, of course that he would be perfect for that of UA's hero course. However, which that basically pisses Bakugo even off more. With then, Bakugo basically wanted to threaten Izuku behind that of the school. However, Izuku wouldn't have that. With then, soon, without warning, Bakugo basically punches Izuku in that of the face. Within, giving him that of a black eye. Before Izuku could retaliate, Bakugo basically just walks off angrily like that of a whiny, petulant child. Within, soon, Izuku couldn't help but say, "Damn, he's so damn annoying." Before then, he heads to that of the nurse's office, where she basically looks over his eye, gives him at least that of a ice pack to pull down the swelling, and the bruise will basically disappear after today, once he gets a good night's sleep. So nothing to worry about. After all that taken care of, he heads back to the club room, where there, he explains what he's explained to them. With then soon, Nene couldn't help but think, "I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him." Within soon, Yarisha saying, "I don't think that's a good idea, Yukumi. I mean, didn't you already make it into UA as well through the card fighting, entrance exam?" Within soon, saying, Right. As much as I want to basically put him 6 feet under, I don't want to ruin my chances of getting into UA either. It's such a dilemma. Oh, maybe I should be able to do so after classes once we get into UA. Within, Izuku saying, "Please don't. Kachan's not worth it. He's not worth anything anymore. Not until he basically gets over himself. And once we get into UA, he'll figure that out sooner than later." With then, soon, Katakara saying, "And you make it sound like you think he's going to be able to finally realize that what he's been doing it's going to backfire," saying, "Oh, it will. It absolutely will. And once it does, I'll be there to basically give him the reality check that he deserves. Because more than anything, I want the old Kachan back." As he says this, his teammates and clubmates and friends were confused on what he meant by that. Within, Izuku shaking his head saying, me getting a black eye and Kachan out of the way. How's everything going? What about you? What about you, Yarashi?" Within, saying, actually, I plan on going to that of, Ketsubutsu Academy, actually. Within, soon, Katakara saying, "Alright, yeah, Ketsubutsu actually has that of a pretty decent, card fighting club. Surprised you didn't want to go to that of UA," saying, "As much as I would love to spend time with you guys, UA's card fighting club, unlike that of the hero course, the entrance exam for that of the card fighting course is way harder. And at my current skill level, I'm not going to be able to make it. So I have to take that of the other schools instead. Ketsubutsu may be a little far, but my parents did say that they're willing to pay for an apartment to allow me to stay there so I can continue going after all. Let's just hope. I told him not to get anything too fancy or too expensive for me, to be honest." Within, hearing that, Izuku saying, "We're going to miss you." Within, the pink net couldn't help but say, "And I'll miss you guys too." As she couldn't help but feel like she's going to cry, as even Izuku actually feels like he's going to cry too. Within, Katakara couldn't help but sigh, as that of Nene couldn't help but basically smile a bit, but not really care in reality. To her, one less annoyance between her and her beloved Izuku. Within, Katakara, before they basically could create that of a river of tears, Katakara saying, "Alright, before we go and end this year off good, you and I, one last card fight, Midoriya. You in?" Within, soon, Izuku saying, "Oh yeah, I'm in." As then, the two male clubmates, rivals, and friends, as they couldn't help but look at each other in anticipation. Before then, they both say, "Stand up, my Vanguard!" As this match would be their last, at least for a while. Couple with that of a month now gone by, Izuku now has that of his school uniform for UA already laid out for him. Not only that, he also has that of he also submitted that of his uniform to be his costume uniform. To be fair, at first he was thinking about using the costume design that he wanted to be recognizable and symbolize that of his admiration for All Might. However, he decides to, not at all, and decides to go with something a little bit different and a lot more form-fitting. Given that his quirk literally creates that of a second layer, that of a more durable and more powerful layer of skin and armor, depending on that of the unit he becomes when he's the Vanguard. He doesn't really need a costume more flashy, given that his quirk does all the heavy lifting. So he decides to go with something a lot more, casual, to be honest. As for now, UA has that of various spots when it comes to that of their most prevalent courses, mainly from that of the hero course and the card fighting course. For the hero course, only that of 40 applicants can be basically taken part in. And since there were over that of hundreds of participants for the hero course, nay, possibly even thousands, to find out the best of the best through that of both academics and also the practical exam. And not to mention, they also brought the fact that during the entrance exam, there was hero points. I found out through my recording when I got it, my acceptance letter. Originally, without the hero points, I probably wouldn't have gotten that at first place. My total villain points was only that of 62. Gotten me at least that of, third place, to be honest. I would have been under that of Kachan and that of a girl by the name of Ibara Shirazu. But with the hero points, which I gained from that from 60 actually, I got 122, which was close to nearly beating All Might's perfect record. Talk about something amazing. But it's because of that, Kachan was basically undeniably pissed. Since then, the two of us have basically kept our distance from one of us until we get into UA. Personally, if I'm going to be honest, better that than anything else. Currently now, Izuku is on his way to UA with wearing his uniform, yellow bag in tow, school supplies all ready to go as well, and even his cards intact as too. As he even found out about that of the card fighting course in UA from that of Nene and Karakare from them. Turns out the card fighting club has over that of 40 students just like the others in that of both class. Like I said, unlike the hero course exam, the card fighting course exam, it was a lot more different. Still a written portion exam, but for the practical portion, you had to face against that of an AI robot based off a few pros, card fighting Vanguard pros, in both America and in Japan. There were over that of 1,000 participants, given that the card fighting course is said to be easier, but simple than that, not so much. It isn't just if you beat them or win. They judge on how long it takes you to beat them and win. The standard running time for that of a card fighting Vanguard match is normally that of 10 to 12 turns. Take longer than that to beat your opponent, and you're out of the exam, either if you win or lose. Luckily, the others were able to make it, given that they got their acceptance letters too. For that, I'm happy for them, and I'm really looking forward to what kind of pros they become in the next 4 years. As for me, besides being a pro, I just plan on showing the world the power of card fighting in Vanguard in the hero community. But as then, Izuku finally gets off the train and seeing that of the school of his dreams, as he goes to that of his new class and possibly new friends and rivals, Class 1A. However, there's also another person that he wants to meet too, as it being that of Pony Girl after all. As he messaged her saying that he got into that of UA, But she also said that she also got into UA as well. But she doesn't know what class she'll be in though. So she wanted to keep it a surprise and surprise each other. But then Izuku can't help but wait and see that of his pen pal from America in real life. The one friend that, besides that of his friends that got him into card fighting, she was the one friend that was always supportive of him, no matter what. And looking forward to finally seeing her. Hopefully that they'll both be in the same class. Well, unfortunately, fate has different plans. As Izuku heads that of Class 1A, within seeing that of the massive 1A door, within thinking, oh crap, seriously, do doors like this for actual giants? Well, given people with certain shape-shifting quirks and also it amplifies that of their metabolism, kind of makes sense. Alright, hopefully I won't be in the same class as Kachan or that guy with the glasses. Within thinking, think positive, Izuku, think positive. As Izuku has that of a smile on his face, within sliding the door open, and then once he goes into the door, still with the smile, he soon notices two people arguing. Get your feet off the desk at this instant! Don't you have any respect for our senpais who once sat in this very room as well? As then, soon one saying, seriously, you really got some balls thinking that you have the right to talk to me like that. But then Izuku realized, I think the universe really hates me. Yeah, it kind of makes sense that it hates me, given that Kachan was my first childhood friend, and now was my bully. Within seeing that of both Bakugo and Ida basically arguing with one another, with Bakugo still having that cocky, arrogant smile as always, with Ida basically chopping his arm at supersonic speeds, and that of frustration and also as showing how much of a robot he is. With the two still basically arguing, within Izuku couldn't help but sigh and think, oh, why bother? As then soon, both Bakugo and Ida soon noticed Izuku. Within soon, Ida walking over to that of Izuku. Within soon, Izuku getting on guard. Before then, Ida basically bowing his head saying, allow me to apologize. Within, Izuku basically having that of a shocked look saying, huh? During the entrance exam, I criticized you and was about to also tell you things that I believe that you already knew, but I didn't understand it first. You were able to find out the truth behind the entrance exam through that of the hero points, and for that, I must apologize. Please. Within, soon, Izuku saying, hey, it's okay, dude, seriously, I didn't even know about them too. I was just doing what I thought was right. Simple as that. Within, Ida saying, I see. Then allow me to introduce myself. I'm Tenya Ida. You already said it out loud, dude. Within saying, of course. My apologies. Within, soon, Izuku saying, Izuku Midoriya. It's a pleasure to meet you. Within, soon, noticing that of a girl with that of Bob Cup head saying, is this the right class? Is this class 1A? As she looking at her, she has that of brown bob cut hair with that of two long bangs, an eternal blushing cheeks, and somewhat of a round face. Within, Ida saying, yes it is. Welcome. As Ida basically goes to that of the same girl from before, from that of the entrance exam, where then Izuku looking around as wondering, so this will be my fellow classmates for the next 3 years. Within thinking, all this hard work and me trying to finally understand my quirk for almost that of 5 years. It's show it. I may be behind a little bit, but hard work and understanding my cards is the best way for me to get through this. As Izuku nods himself before then getting out of that of his mental reassurance before somebody saying, if you're only here to basically try and make friends, then you're basically in the wrong class. Within, soon, everybody kind of wonders, as soon, both Ida and Ochako, alongside Izuku, walking up to the door, noticing that of a man in that of a yellow sleeping bag that makes him look like that of a caterpillar, as he has a gruff appearance, as he has that of a messy, 5 o'clock shadow beard, with that, as you can even see that of messy long veins coming from from his eye, from that of the top of his head. Before then, unzipping that of his sleeping bag and pulling out that of a protein juice pouch. Within, soon, Ida saying, who are you by any chance, sir? The man couldn't help but sigh, saying, I'm your homeroom teacher. Within, both Izuku, the girl known as Ochako Uraka, and Ida couldn't help but be completely and utterly shocked, with even those outside near the door couldn't help but be completely caught off guard. As he soon gets out of the sleeping bag, showing that he has that of a full-on black uniform with that of a white scarf on, as he soon brings the sleeping bag with him, within saying, hello class, I am your homeroom teacher, Shota Aizawa. For the next 3 years, I'll be your homeroom teacher. Not only that, now, before you have any questions and you start asking, as he soon pulls something out of that of his sleeping bag before then saying, here, put these on and meet me outside. I need to evaluate your skills. Also, don't be late. Got it? After saying that, everybody is still completely confused. However, they do what their homeroom teacher says. Currently outside of UA, and where that of all of the first years, all the courses outside that of Class 1A are currently hearing that of Principal Nezu's orientation speech. Within, soon, Vlad King couldn't help but sigh as he looks at that of the, seats on where Class 1A should have been. But then he couldn't help but say, damn it, Aizawa, you do this all the time. As a few people from that of Class 1B notice that the people from that of their, sister class isn't here, with one boy with that of blonde hair and that of a somewhat punchable face, basically couldn't help but say, should have expected much. Even those from Class 1A really believe that they're better than us, so they don't need to show up. With then, soon, another one of their fellow classmates, as it being that of a short boy with that of a pudgy look to him, but seems have that of a good head on his shoulders, saying, I don't think so. What I heard from that of Mr. Vlad King is that, it seems like their teacher had them do something, actually. The blonde-haired boy saying, proves it even more. Guess it shows that Class 1A gets special treatment. While we're here listening to that of our principal, within soon, the same girl from the entrance exam, being Pony Tsunatori, Izuku's pen pal friend and Vanguard, basically looks around saying, he really isn't here? Why wouldn't their homeroom teacher bring him? Then she begins to wonder where Izuku is. Currently now with that of Izuku in Class 1A, they're at that of an outdoor field. Within soon, Aizawa saying, good, you all arrived on time. It lets you know that time is precious. Within soon, Ochako speaks up saying, sir, can I ask why are we not at that of the orientation ceremony? Aren't we going to miss it? Within, Aizawa couldn't help but sigh saying, you're training to become heroes. Your time is precious, and you don't have time to be wasting on that of pointless ceremonies. I'll be testing each and every one of you and see which you all stand, both physically. That means you'll be taking that of a physical apprehension test like what you took back in that of junior high school. However, unlike that of normally, where you don't use your quirks, you will be. Within hearing that, everybody couldn't help but be shocked. However, Bakugo having that of a grin on his face. The government likes to continue to believe that every last one of us are basically born equal. That is unrational. It holds back those without a true potential. So, here at UA, we go beyond our limits after all. Within, pulling out that of a ball from that of his pockets and tossing it towards Izuku. Within saying, Midoriya, what was your farthest throw in that of junior high school? Within, Izuku's eyes lining saying, about that of maybe 100 meters? Within, hearing that saying, okay then. How about this? You throw that ball inside of that circle and this time use your quirk. Within hearing that saying, wait, seriously? Saying yes. Within hearing this, thinking, Oh crap! I knew there was. I thought something like this was gonna happen. Good thing I came prepared. I only brought that of my gold paladin deck though, so that means, well, good thing me being cautious was a smart thing to do. Soon, heading to the circle, with then pulling out that one of his deck holders, before pressing that of the red button on that of his right glove. With soon pulling out that of his deck, before then looking through that of his cards. Within soon a boy with that of purple balls on his head saying, "What's he doing? Looking through cards for?" Within soon, one of them, as it being that of a guy with that of blonde hair, with that of a black mark in his hair, being that of a lightning bolt, saying, "Hey, I think those are Vanguard cards." Within the guy with that of spiky red hair and that of sharp teeth, saying, "Yeah, those are definitely Vanguard cards. What is he?" Within soon, Ida saying, "I remember though. I may not be familiar with that of Vanguard deeply, but I am aware of it. Tensei used to play that from time to time. And if I recall, that Midoriya's appearance changes actually." With Soon seeing the perfect card, saying, "If he wants me to go all out, then I'll go all out." As Izuku pulls out that of a card, saying, "Now stand up, my Vanguard!" Within being consumed by that of the light, as the symbol of the gold paladins rubs in front of him before circling around him. Before then, his appearance begins to change as he grows at least that a little bit taller, and then having that of golden-like armor that within the center, looking like that of a sun, with that of a headpiece that looks like that of a visor. Within, soon that of a golden-like blade with that of a spiky-like guard, as the sword is somewhat similar to that of blaster blades, but golden. Before then, the figure having that of red hair before it soon switches to that of Izuku's face and hair. "I ride my avatar, Sunrise Ray Knight Kurgan!" As Izuku takes a pose, within raising up his left hand before as he has to the side his massive golden long sword. Within, everybody is completely, utterly shocked at seeing this, except a select few. As Aizawa saying, "I see. So his quirk really is tied to those cards. Take away the cards and you take away his quirk. However, I don't see any of the cards even on him. Or rather, did he absorb them by any chance?" Within, Aizawa deciding to put that of his curiosity aside. Before then, Izuku grabs that of the ball, but soon pulling out as he prepares out of his massive long sword, before tossing it up into the air, and then using that of the flat end of the sword as he gets in that of a batting stance, before swinging that of the sword towards the ball, sending it flying, creating that of a miniature shockwave that basically creates another shockwave as it almost sounds like it went that of Mach speed. Within soon, as everybody could feel that of the shockwave from that of the sonic booms. Within soon, Bakugo's jaw couldn't help but drop as he couldn't help but say, "There's no way in hell. No way in hell those rinky-dink cards have that much power. It's impossible. Cards like that shouldn't be able to have that kind of power for a quirk. I thought it was just him basically cosplaying, but he literally has that power? Why? How?" Kaminari speak up saying, "Holy crap, he became one of the Gurgan cards from the Gold Paladins. That is so cool." Within that, the girl with that of short purplish black hair, with that of ear jacks on that of her earlobe, saying, "Gold Paladins? Gurgan? The hell are you talking about, dude?" Within saying, "Come on, you guys don't play Vanguard? It's a pretty cool game. Plus, there's a freaking course here at UA." Within a girl with that of green hair like that of Izuku's, as it's basically long and basically tied up at the ends, as if you look close at her, she also has that of a bit of a frog face. Within saying, now you mention it, my siblings actually watch, Cardfight Vanguard. It's an old show, but it's still pretty popular. Mainly my younger brother watches it. It's not a bad show, but honestly, I never really got too much into it. As then a blonde-haired guy that has that of a bit of a bland face, but with that of a large tail, saying, actually, it's kind of fun. Both the anime and the card game. It's pretty easy to get into if you feel like it. Kind of makes sense on why UA has a course for it, since it's one of the most popular and most profitable careers outside of being a pro, to be honest. Within soon, Aizawa getting everybody back on track, saying, outside of the Vanguard course, which is not important for all of you, this is the kind of benchmark that you all need to achieve. As he says this, Izuku goes back to normal, making sure that he doesn't waste too much energy because he knows that he's going to need it for the entirety of this exam. Best for him to go straight into that of grade 1 and then elevate more and more back to grade 3, not wanting to waste any more time and energy that he needs to. Within getting back with everybody else, however, Bakugo, alongside that of a boy with that of dual color hair, red and white and red, couldn't help but stare at that of Izuku. With Bakugo with that of a look of pure and utter rage, and one that's that's that of an intense, entrance. Within, Aizawa saying, this is the benchmark what you need to achieve. It's when you use your quirks in this exam, you need to show what you're truly capable of. Don't hold anything back. Within soon, a girl with that of pink skin and that of wild pink hair with that of yellow horns and that of black eyes, with her irises being golden, couldn't help but have that of a look of pure and utter excitement, saying, man, this is going to be awesome. We get to use her quirks all we want. But then, the guy with that of the blonde hair and lightning bolts, being Kaminari, saying, totally, this is so exciting, going to be so much fun. Within soon, that of a guy with that of a plain-looking face, with that of raven hair and weird elbows, can help but say, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea for you guys to say that. Within, hearing the words from that of Kaminari and the pink-haired girl being Mina Ashido, can help but say, oh, so you all think this is going to be fun? You think that spending 3 years of working your butt off to become pros is going to be a good time? Well then, how about this then? The one that basically comes in last place will be expelled through all. Within, Sue, hearing all that, everybody could help but be shocked besides a select few, with even Izuku couldn't help but think, he can't be serious. Within, soon, that of Ochako saying, but that's not fair. We all worked so hard to get into UA. You can't expel us on the very first day. Within, soon, Aizawa giving that an intense glare that almost pierces that of Ochako's, soul. Within, he's saying, oh, you think that this isn't fair? Well, tell me, do you think that power-hungry villains are fair? That of villains who don't care about that of innocent civilians' well-beings? How about that of natural disasters that can basically level an entire town? Do you think that's fair too? Do you even believe it's fair that when a person's quirk goes crazy and affects everybody, do you think that's fair too? Within, soon, everybody is starting to get a little bit uncomfortable, but understand what Aizawa is coming down at. Within saying, you're training to become pros. You're working your best to combat that unfairness. It's your duty to overcome that by any means necessary. That's why here at UA, we go beyond our limits, pass through them, and reach a level beyond anything else. It's time for you to understand that. It's time for you all to go plus ultra style. So if you're going to continue whining, you can leave now. But if you're willing to bear through it and grit it all, then prepare for what's to come. With those words, it basically, hyped up and reassure many others as well that they needed to give it their all no matter what. And whoever leaves, well, no hard feelings. However, for Izuku, on the other hand, he couldn't really accept this, as he doesn't think that this is truly fair, even if the world is unfair. But believe him, he knows that the world is truly unfair. But it seems more deliberately being unfair, as Izuku couldn't help but narrow his eyes at their homeroom teacher, as he couldn't help but think, my opinion of teachers have always been low as a kid, to be honest. And it looks like UA is going to be no different. Even so, even with a teacher like this in my pathway, I'll still become a hero. I still want to protect those with a smile. And no one's getting in my way. Not Kachan, not UA, and especially not Mr. Aizawa. After giving him that determination, within soon, all the quirk apprehension test begins, with the first one being that of the, 20-meter dash, as everybody goes the same placement as they did as in canon after all. Same thing goes for Izuku as well. However, since he decided to charge up that of his, ride meter after all, he decides to go grade 0 like he originally planned. However, like he said, when he absorbs his entire deck, going grade 0 is always random for him, unlike that in actual card fights. With then soon, Izuku becomes that of Flame of Victory, grade 0 of the Golden Paladins, which is basically perfect for Izuku. Grade 0s aren't really that strong, but they're durable enough and, athletic enough to basically be on the level of a pretty average athlete, to be honest. So, nothing out of the ordinary for him. As that of Flame of Victory, being that of a somewhat dragon-like entity, young man with that of, dark caramel skin, with that of 2 horns, small little horns on that of their forehead, pointy ears, that of reddish, black, and gold armor, with that of a single-edged sword, that of a double-edged sword with that of flames coming off of it, with that of flaming red hair. However, just as before, just like any other card that Izuku becomes, it takes on his characteristics, as he has that of his big emerald green eyes and his diamond-shaped freckles. Within Bakugo, seeing that of the little knight, within Bakugo couldn't help but smirk, saying, seriously, you really think that's going to be able to stand up against me? Deku saying, yeah, keep talking while you can, Kachan. It's not like it matters. Within, soon, Bakugo couldn't help but growl. Within, Aizawa saying, begin, as a whistle was blown. Within, and that of a pretty quick burst of speed, Izuku basically passes Bakugo. However, Bakugo begins to catch up with that of Izuku, since again, he's in that of a grade 0, so he basically is that of a highly enhanced, sports athlete, to be honest. And with that of Bakugo's, explosions amplifying him, Izuku is not able to keep up too much, but makes it at least that of a few seconds behind that of Bakugo, with their time being that of 3.5 seconds for Bakugo and 3.6 seconds for Izuku. Within, soon, Izuku can't help but take a deep breath, saying, alright, that takes care of that. Within, thinking, my ride meter's still not ready yet, so I guess I gotta do at least a few more tests before then. Within, soon, Bakugo was trying to gloat to that of Izuku. However, Izuku could really care less, as he's just going back to his sword. Within, pulling it out of the ground, and then placing it back on that of his shoulders, walking back to the others. But Bakugo couldn't help but grit his teeth that he can't rub it in his victory in that of Izuku's face. Next up being that of the long jump, where everybody had to basically jump over that of a sand pit and see how far that they can go over, which everybody gets the same placement in that. As for Izuku, he jumps over that of the sand pit, however, only that of close to the edge that he nearly stepped on the sand pit. Luckily, doing so allowed him to finally ride to that of grade 1. Within saying, finally, within saying, I ride. Crimson Lion, Beast, Howlin! Within, soon, the symbol of the Gold Paladins appears in front of him before spinning around, changing that of his figure as Izuku grows that of a bit taller. Within, soon, having that of fully gold armor with that of a red color scheme pattern around that of his torso, his gauntlets, and that of his red foot, and that of somewhat violent reddish hair, wearing that of a golden helmet too. Within, soon seeing that of Izuku's face through that on that of the helmet. Within, everybody seeing this, with a few people couldn't help but be shocked and awe seeing that of Izuku's appearance looking like straight from that of the cards. With Aizawa saying, so he really does take on the characteristics of Vanguard cards. He doesn't just be able to pick them whenever he wants. Well, at least not at first, it seems. Still gotta keep an eye on him. Actually, now that I think about it. Within, soon, Aizawa was about to use that of his quirk on that of Izuku. Within, soon, Izuku could feel something shift in his body. Within, realizing, what the hell? What's going on? Why do I feel more different? Within, thinking, I can't go back to normal. Why can't I? Within, Aizawa seeing is saying, I see. With soon, him basically stop using that of his quirk, Eraser, on Izuku. Within, soon, Izuku realized that he can go back to normal again, saying, what the hell was that? I almost felt like I was completely trapped in this body. Within, thinking, whatever the hell that was, I really hope I don't have to feel that again. Within, Aizawa was seeing this, saying, so that's what would happen if I basically use my Eraser quirk on him. He wouldn't be able to transform back, or possibly not even transform into that of a higher grade. Interesting indeed. As Aizawa basically puts this for a later note before getting back to that of the test once again. Within being that of pull, as they soon go to that of the grip strength test, as they have that of grip strength machines that allow those with that of super strength quirks to show what they're capable of. Shoji still gets that of the top score. However, when Izuku basically grips onto them, he basically breaks it, as that's his top strength in that of a grade 1 after all. Within saying, sorry, does that count, Mr. Aizawa? Within, having that, as he couldn't help but think that Izuku had a cheeky smile on his face. Within, wanting to basically tell Izuku not to get too cocky, before then thinking that it's possibly his quirk reacting like this. Within saying, it counts, Midoriya. Whatever the score that it last landed on, that's what you get. Did you read it down saying, oh yeah, it was about that, I think it was about that of, 100 PSI? Saying, alright then. Within, soon seeing that Momo creates that of a, grip strength machine. As it doesn't reach the same strength as that of Izuku, but still close. Making that of both Izuku, Momo, and Shoji still the top of that test. Next up being that of, side steps, where everybody had to basically go side to side rapidly over and over again. However, Izuku, on the other hand, basically blitzes through as his entire body it looks like that of a blurry flame, as he goes neck and neck with that of the guy with the purple balls being Mineta. With then everybody's kind of shocked and surprised seeing the two basically go neck and neck with one another. However, Mineta was the one that stopped first, as his quirk with that of the clumps of purple balls that he was bouncing off of was starting to wear off. Within, soon, Mineta basically slit, saying, oh man. Within, Izuku stops, saying, take that. Within, Izuku gets the highest in that. Next up being that of pull-ups, where, again, Izuku basically blitzes through that, where everybody else still either struggled or didn't even break a sweat either, which gave him at least that of one more chance to ride. Within, as the last test being that of the endurance run, with then everybody has to basically use their quirk for a long consecutive amount of time around that of a, well, track. And once they feel too exhausted, they stop, they're out, showing their time after all. For Izuku, he decided to ride once more to grade 2, as he would end it here. No need to basically show off when he already showed what he's capable of in grade 3. Within saying, "I ride, liberator of royalty, Pamlon!" As then his appearance changes once again, within him growing even taller than before, as he has that of majestic golden-like armor, with that of several jewels around that of his chest and over his side as well. Within having that of a red cape, with that of a energy-like sword in his right hand. However, and then his hair that was once blonde now goes messy green once more, with his emerald green eyes and diamond-shaped freckles showing too, as he's basically taller than everybody else in Class 1A, or even taller than that of Shoji actually. Within soon seeing this, everybody couldn't help but be completely shocked and surprised, is because Penelon is that part of the giant race of the Royal Paladins. Within soon, Izuku saying, "Alright, let's get this test over with." As Izuku having that of a cocky grin and smile. Within, everybody begins with everybody trying to use their quirks to to try and get that of a faster time and keep on going. However, some people already bailed out pretty sooner than later. A girl with that an invisible quirk being Toru. The girl with that of the, well, jacks on her earlobes being Jiro, of course, too. A guy with that of electrification quirk already bailed out as well, with then a few others too soon after. With some of them still using their quirks. However, they begin to realize that their quirks are starting to weaken as well. Within thinking as they begin to bail out, with the only ones remaining being that of Izuku, Momo, Ida, a guy with that of a raven head, with that of a bird head with raven black hair being Tokoyami, Bakugo, and the guy with that of the dual color hair being Todoroki. However, even through that time, they all began to, well, bail out as well. Even Bakugo, realizing that he can't keep up his explosions for too long after all, as his palms begin to start hurting, bails out as well, as much as how much he hates that he's bailing out. Even Todoroki also bails out too, as his body begins to shiver. Before then, the ice around that of his, well, right side begins to, well, defraud itself. Within soon, all that's left is that of Momo and Ida and Izuku. Before then, Ida, no longer having the strength to keep going, as he also has to end that of his run. As the only ones left being Izuku and Momo, with that of Izuku basically saying, I could keep this going forever, right? I can basically ride to grade 3 if I feel like it. Within soon, Momo saying, well, don't let me stop you. I still have enough juice for me in this scooter after all. Within soon, the two basically couldn't help but have that of a somewhat rivalry between the two on who was going to bail out first. Before then, Aizawa couldn't help but sigh, saying, both of you, that's enough. You both pass. You don't have time for pointless rivalries like this. So, let's get to that of the last one. Then we can get to that of the others as well. Within soon, both Izuku and Momo basically stopped, as that of the tall green net and that of the spiky, and now the raven spiky-tailed girl basically walking over. Next up, everybody does that of the ball throw, as that goes just like it would as well. However, Bakugo did try to, well, throw the ball even further than that of Izuku. However, easier said than done with that of Gurgen, to be honest. He's not a grade 3 gold paladin for nothing after all. However, Izuku didn't need to take another ball throw because he already did his, so no reason for him to do a second one. However, he was surpassed in the ball throw mainly because of Ochako and that of her quirk not letting the ball basically fall back down as she got infinity. So that's still the same. Next up being the last exercise of the quirk apprehension test, being that of push-ups and sit-ups. So yeah, that's all that was left. Within soon, after measuring each and every one of their points and basically scaling them together, Aizawa decided to show their placement in class overall from each of the exams, within soon showing them from that of first to that of 20th. As in first place being that of, well, Momo, of course. Second place being Izuku. Third place being Shoto. Fourth place being Bakugo. Fifth place being Ida. Sixth place being that of Tokoyami. And then so on and so forth afterwards with everybody in the same placement as they were before. However, the only difference is Izuku isn't in last place. And the person that was in that of the 19th place originally in canon is now in the 20th place. And that being Mineta. Within soon, seeing his name on that of the last row, as he couldn't help but be completely and utterly shocked and surprised, say, "What? But no fair! There's no way! I can't be!" Within soon, as I was saying, "All right, Mineta, you're in last place. It's time for you to pack your bags and get going." Within, everybody is completely shocked. Before then, soon, Aizawa couldn't help but smirk before having that of a devilish grin on his face, saying, "That's what I would say if you were basically being expelled, which you're not." Within, soon, everybody is completely and utterly shocked in hearing this. Within, except that of Momo and that of, well, Shoto as well. However, he doesn't really care as much. Before Momo spoke up saying, "Well, did you... Honestly, I knew it was a ruse." Within, everybody looking at that of the spiky ravenette. Within, she's saying, "It was a logical ruse for that of us to give it our all after all. He was never planning on expelling any of us from the very beginning." Within, soon, everybody hearing this. Before then, the guy with that of the tape arms being Sero, alongside that of Mina and Kaminari saying, "Why couldn't you say that to us before? We were basically sweating buckets over here." Within, seeing their distressed face, Momo couldn't help but flinch internally before saying, "Sorry, I guess I should basically bring this up the next time after all. My apologies." Within soon, Aizawa was saying, "Oh no, I definitely would have expelled that of the person in last place, definitely. Honestly, if Mineta didn't have any talent or potential, he would be basically being sent off before re-enrolling him after all. He's lucky." However, the one that basically stood out the most, looking at that of Izuku, who's no longer in that of his Vanguard, within saying, "A person that's connected to that of Vanguard cards. It's the first time I've seen a quirk like that. Not to mention, his quirk is quite different. To be fair, when I looked over his registry, it didn't look like that of his quirk, like his quirk was something else. Now that I think about it, I should probably keep my eyes out more for Midoriya and his quirk just in case he goes overboard. Whatever the Vanguard he turns into, it changes his personality. That could be a problem depending on that of the clan he uses. I'm not too proficient in that of Vanguard, but still, I'm aware of the series. Just need to make sure that he doesn't cause any problems." Within, after basically deciding to bring his head down, saying, "All right, now that you're all done, change out of your clothes and head back to the homeroom. There you'll get a syllabus and you're free to leave the campus if you feel like it. Not only that, you can also roam around the campus. Just don't mess with that if you're upperclassmen. Got it?" Within, soon, all of them saying, "Yes, sir. Good. Now get going." After that, he soon walks off. However, little did he know, or rather, he already did know, that somebody was watching him, and that being a familiar, blonde-haired, tufts of hair, young pro hero, All Might. As All Might couldn't help, but basically was worried for those of Class 1A, since they have him as their homeroom teacher after all. As for Izuku, he basically gets on back his school uniform on, has his deck by his sides once again, before then was about to head out, before then running into that of a certain someone, with bumping into them, with it saying, sorry, I didn't know, I should have seen where I was going. Within, she soon saying in English, saying, no, that's my fault, I'm sorry. Within, soon, wait, she's speaking English. Could she be within? Noticing out of the horn girl being Pony, as she could up and say, hey, you're the guy from the entrance exam. Within, saying, yeah. Before, soon, Ida, alongside that of Ochako, noticed that of Izuku and Pony, as they're both on the ground. Within, Ida saying, Midoriya, are you okay? Within, soon, Ochako saying, hey, are you okay? Midoriya, was it? Within, saying, oh, yeah. I just bumped into her. Within, saying, you're Izuku Midoriya. Within, saying, yeah? Do you know by a girl by the name of Pony Girl? Within, sued. Izuku saying, she's an online friend of mine who plays Vanguard and a pen pal from America. How do you... Within, soon, she gives off that of a cheeky smile with that of her eyes closed, tilting her head to that of the side, before then saying, wait, you're Pony Girl? With Izuku completely and utterly shocked, saying, surprise! Pleasure to finally meet you, King of Paladins. As Izuku finally officially meets his closest friend in Vanguard, as his first day at UA being one hell and eventful one. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. And so, how did you guys like this? Honestly, it took me a while to get this out of the way, to be fair, as the rivalry, or rather the, aggression between that of both Izuku and Bakugo is growing quite even more. And just wait until that of the battle trial arc. Things are going to get even more crazy. Trust me. And now Izuku has finally officially met that of Pony. Unfortunately, they're not in the same class, so expect that of hijinks between that of Class 1A and Class 1B with these two. So yeah, at any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, keep to date with my videos on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, side channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All link in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki, signing out. Later, guys, and hope you all take care. Shiro Kitsune, you know what to do, my lady.
Hi, everyone. This is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell. And check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!